I think every entrepreneur has a sense that they can do something to make the world better.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
How would you like to achieve your first million in sales? And today we have a surprise, a digital nomad, a serial entrepreneur, and very charismatic. He's based in US. Kadeem, can you please introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Kadeem. I am based in the US. I'm currently traveling South America. Right now, I'm actually in Uruguay. So I'm excited to be joining Harry for this podcast episode. I'm looking forward to, having this conversation.
So wow, you're joining us for Uruguay. That's fantastic. So what happened then? If you're in Uruguay, who's running your business?
Well, that's one of the first secrets that we'll come back to later. But, you have to have a team of people that you trust, and, you have to be a leader. Leadership is one of the first principles of running a business. Being able to inspire and encourage other people, and being able to teach skills to other people. Those are some of the really impactful skills that you learn and develop, but then you also study on your journey to entrepreneurship. So yeah, someone else, different teams of people are running things. It's very.
So why do you decide to become an entrepreneur? Your parents are an entrepreneur. You have a friend that is an entrepreneur. How you decide to start in real estate?
That's a great question. So, well, that's two questions. So, and real estate and entrepreneurship is different. So, I'll actually give you the entrepreneurship one first, because that's very interesting. I've actually never told this story, so this is an exclusive.
Okay, woo! First time that we're gonna know the story. Excellent, go for it.
Okay, so my first entrepreneurship endeavor was I was sitting one Christmas, and my father, no, by this point, my mom had passed. She had passed cancer. So it was just me and my dad. And he asked me, what did I want for Christmas? And I sat down, and this is like as a teenager, kid, right? And I sat down and I said, you know what I really want to do? I don't want anything. I want to give away to people. I want to give away just a ton of gift bags to people. And so that Christmas, what we decided to do was a local church. We partnered with them, and we put together 100 gift bags, and we walked on the streets and gave it to people. But that was my first time ever raising capital, right?
Wow.
Ever making sales, fundraising, right? Organizing. That was a team of maybe like 15 people, and I was a kid. And then we got it together, and then we had to organize dates, and then we had to organize police escorts. I was doing that as a kid, but that was my first time being really thrown into the world of entrepreneurship. And it wasn't for profit, but it's entrepreneurship nonetheless, and that was really cool.
Oh yeah, proper entrepreneur. Yeah, at the end of the day, is the whole sack is about giving back. So where do you think that where this thought came from? Did you saw something in the TV? You got inspired by your dad? Your dad is someone that, or maybe by your mom. What happened with your mom? Sorry to hear that. Decided that to shift that you suggest. So why do you took at so early age? Don't get me wrong, but
Right.
when I'm 18, I'm only what I was thinking is drinking and chasing girls. Yeah. So so early age, you decided that you want to contribute to people. Is maybe what happened with your mom, or you got inspired by your dad, or what happened there?
I think every entrepreneur has a sense that they can do something to make the world better.
Mhm.
I think every entrepreneurship has that in their spirit. And, to varying degrees, that's what we do. We see ideas in our mind, and we're like, I could do that. I could bring that into reality. And so that was my first time doing that. Beyond that, why did I continue? Beyond the first one was, well, I decided that, coming from humble beginnings, I didn't want to have to worry about money like people I saw in their 60s, 70s, 80s. Right? I'm sure you have friends, and I certainly know people as well, even family, trying to talk to, that they're approaching retirement, and they're realizing that it's not so good right now for retirement. At 401k, if you have 100, $200,000, if you're going to retire at 65, that's not enough, because people are living until they're 90. No, right? That's not enough to last 30 years. And so I realized that at 50 years old, right? And at 15 years old, I decided, you know what? I'm going to try to find a path to retire before 30. That's what I'm going to do. That's all I'm going to spend my time on. And so then at that age, I knew that a job would not do that. It had to be entrepreneurship. No, I didn't know about real estate. I didn't know about investing. I didn't know about long-term anything. No, I just
You
knew
knew that you want to
that,
retire at 30.
and it wouldn't be a job. That exactly.
And you know, when
That's the
you
only two
change
things
your
there.
mindset, when you put in your mind in that space, right? And you take the decision, okay, I'm going to do this. I want to retire at 30. All of a sudden, you are more open to the possibilities that can get you there
Exactly.
faster because now your mind is open.
Exactly.
If I tell you about the red card, you will tell me, "Oh, Harry, I haven't seen any red card in 2 weeks," and maybe you go out of the office and now you
Right.
see 10 red cards, and what
Right.
happened? Because now you have awareness, right? So by you
Exactly.
creating that decision that you want to retire by 30, you put that awareness into your brain. But also I agree
Yes.
with you, you know, every entrepreneur somehow has something within that I can make a big difference to other people.
I can do it.
You know, it's true that you can get inspired from family, from friends, from anybody, but it still has
Right.
to be within you. If you don't have
Right.
it in you, some people that we talk about, they build businesses and you know they fail, and I think it's because this entrepreneurial spirit is not there. They just
Right.
hear that I want to do this, I want to do that, but that having that spirit with it is really important. I had it
Exactly.
since all my life, since I was a
Right.
very bad employee. I worked for the Hilton when I arrived here in London, and I was an employee, and you know
Right.
I wanted to take my own decisions. I want to take the thing. So it was really
Exactly.
uncomfortable for me to be an employee. So I said, well,
Exactly.
I need. So parallel, I started my first real estate business, same like you. So how come real estate came to your path? What happened?
So, so real estate is a completely different story. Wasn't altruistic at all. It was purely about profit. When I started, at least. What happened was I could not afford rent, right? So then what happened was I decided, okay, I have this room and other people want this room. That was my thought process. This was my first year in college. I couldn't afford my rent. I moved to college. No money at all. I had no job because, broke college students, of course.
Yeah.
So then I decided, okay, so
How
if
old were
I
you?
can, I was college, 17 years old.
Wow.
Right. So I decided, okay, let's move out of my room and I'm going to sleep on the couch. Right. I have nothing to lose. I'll sleep on the couch and I'll rent my room to somebody else. So that's what I did. I heard about this thing called Airbnb. I said, okay, well, let me put it on Airbnb and see what happens. Turns out Airbnb not only made my rent in a few days, but doubled my rent. So then now I was earning money from my room. And I said, wait a second.
Oh.
This is amazing.
Now it's not that bad
So
to
then,
sleep on the couch. Now you love this couch, yeah?
now I love this couch.
Man, you're making money out of
So
this? Who cares about the
so
couch
now
anymore?
exactly. Now
You
I'm
were
going
looking
to
forward to sleep there.
yeah, now I'm going through my classes in college and I'm thinking, oh well, these, broke college students.
And then now you have money, you can pay the sandwiches for
Yeah.
everybody, and they don't know
You
what's
know,
going on
no,
there.
no, I'm buying tea for Starbucks, that.
Funny.
Well, yeah, right. So then what happened was, after a while, I started to talk to the landlord and I said, hey, I'm making money from this one. Of course, I got the permission from the landlord and said, no problem, I'll sleep on the couch, whatever. I had the one bedroom and I said, hey, give me a second bedroom. Let me see. Let me see what I can do. And then eventually I got the whole house. And then eventually I was doing such a good job with that entire house, which was a 5-bedroom house, that I got all the houses from her and her friends. And then eventually I had a portfolio while I was still in college. So then by the time I
Wow,
was a
when you were
junior in
in
college,
college, you had the portfolio? My
exactly.
goodness.
So then by the time I was a junior in college, I was making 6 figures. And that was my first break into real estate. Like, yeah, there's no turning back.
Real estate is amazing. Right? We become entrepreneurs by accident. Yeah. Here I have a similar
Right.
story. Here when I came to London, I didn't went to real estate because I want to, because I have to, because the same
Right.
thing.
Right.
They paid me the salary in the Hilton. I think it was around 1,200 pounds.
Right.
And I'm paying everything. Okay, transport back then was around
Taxes.
100,
Oh my
food,
goodness.
this, and then 650 pounds in rent. And
Nothing.
I'm like, man, I was spending most of what I was making. I'm like, I just
Exactly.
arrived to London from Spain, and the first month, I'm seeing my thing and I said, this doesn't work.
It doesn't work. No, not at all.
All my monies go out of the rent, so I have to solve my rent problem. Otherwise, I'm not going to yeah. So something similar, yeah. I sleep in the living room, right, and then I was sleeping in the living room, renting the rooms, and
Yes.
in UK, nobody cares about the living room because
That's
when
good.
we were putting the students, and the students, what they really want is fast internet and a comfortable bedroom. They couldn't care
Exactly.
less about the living room because
Exactly. They didn't come out.
they never there. They always study or they are in party. They never in the house in the first place.
Right. Right.
I have the biggest room of the house, and again, it was I'm telling you this about 16 years ago,
Yeah.
long time
Yeah.
ago, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So then we are in business by accident. Okay, we have a product, we are making some profit, and now let's go to business. And now
Right.
the thing comes. So where do you learn? Because now it's not the same thing to rent one room to have a portfolio. When the portfolio comes, you need to have a company, you need to have an accountant, you need to learn about tax, you need to learn about
Of course.
marketing. So where do you learn all this?
So it's very interesting. So I will tell you that there are two ways to learn very effectively. One is just by devouring books. I read a book a week for as long as I can remember. So that's a couple hundred by now. And additional to that is mentors, having people that you can ask questions. Like recently, I got a leg up from someone that's very dear to my heart, and they were able to give me a script that they use in their business that runs automatically, and they called maybe like 1,000 leads every day. And so when they gave me that script, I was like, oh, that's perfect. But that's a mentor, and that's what mentors do. Because just imagine how long it would take me to test scripts, find scripts. That would maybe be like 10 years of work, right? But they just say they did the 10 years. And because they're my mentor, I just got that. But there's no way, and there's no way that you would have gotten that.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.